Nice keys on the beat.
Yep. Stack Nation,
Champions.
Crypto Warriors.
Yes, sir.
Please let us know. Just drop a one in the chat or something if you can hear us clearly. I feel like in my ear it doesn't seem like
The audio is coming up.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it's coming out clear.
Yeah, we'll get there. Champion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Test. Okay, well, I think we're good then.
It's like oddly crisp.
What?
It's oddly crisp.
I know. I feel like the graphics card is adapting or something. Actually, Nvidia's graphics card has this feature where it's able to adapt to what is happening within your system. Maybe you need more output for sound or just improving the graphics. So cool.
Nice.
Absolutely. Other thing is you have to spend a hefty amount for that graphics card. And then when you go to plug it in, it's a battle. Okay.
Stories.
Exactly.
We've been there.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, Stack Nation Crypto Warriors, welcome back to the channel. It is absolutely spectacular.
Beautiful Monday morning.
Yes. To be with you all here.
Start your week with us.
Exactly. You know how we do it, man. We do Monday. Monday doesn't do us. Okay. Monday hates us because we wake up like a cup of coffee. So that's the vibe we have over here. We already have some people in the chat with us before we jump into today's activities. Which, by the way, look at this hoodie, by the way. We'll talk about it in a bit. It's not a hoodie, it's a sweatshirt. We have the Metaverse president, El Presidente,
El Presidento.
in the house. He says uno. Numero
dos,
uno,
dos.
sir.
That means he can hear us.
Exactly. That's what that's for.
Yeah.
We have Bitcoin Madam in the house. She says hola.
Oh, yeah.
Hola to you too, Bitcoin Madam. And North Inc. in the house as well. BK Crypto in the he's out.
Champions.
Okay. Listen, man, I met Sal over the weekend.
Yup.
Incredible conversations. It was absolutely beautiful. Okay.
The Black Blockchain Summit.
Yeah, the Black Blockchain Summit. It's absolutely a great one. By the way, if you were there, let us know in the chat as well. Met so many awesome people.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into it here, okay, I don't know if it's best to do this before or after, but let's look at what is happening in the markets here. Price action. Okay, this is why I love doing Bitcoin. Because when you go to share price action information, okay, you're only doing it for one asset.
You never know what's going on.
It's only one asset. We don't have to compare it with the rest of the world. What is happening to Bitcoin, sir?
Well, VIX is up. That's up this morning. Of course, government shut down the old fear about the market crashing.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And then it came out this morning that Michael Saylor bought a couple thousand more Bitcoins. And then they all thought about, the big institutions that are trying to buy Bitcoin. So, of course, they're trying to suppress the price for them to buy more. That's basically it. But we don't really look at the price action. I'm just trying to figure out, am I buying this morning?
Oh, look, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm looking at the price action. $26,096. Okay. The reason I'm looking at the price action is because I really like for it to either just chill here or go further down so I can just keep buying. Satoshi is giving discounts, man. What can I say?
Sad discount.
Absolutely incredible. Well, Let's jump into it today, man. Before we actually jump into today's topic, we're going to be talking about the difference between price and value.
Mm.
Because I think as a society, we have clearly lost our minds. Okay. We don't know what is value anymore. We're not chasing after the right things.
It's like paying $350,000 for a hurricane that is made out of Volkswagen parts.
Oh gosh, Jesus Christ! Exactly, a hurricane that is made out of Volkswagen parts. But before we jump into that, man, we were over at the
Black
Black
blockchains.
Blockchain Summit
Yeah,
over the weekend. We
yeah.
went there on
Friday.
Friday. Was
Yeah,
it on Thursday?
Thursday, Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday.
Friday was miserable for me. I could not make it, but I'll tell you, uh, Saturday was absolutely spectacular, despite the rain. Okay, got met with Bitcoin Zay,
Mm-hmm.
met Cell, like I mentioned before. Met with, of course, AfriBlocks,
Yep.
right? The entrepreneurs on the ground in Africa making it happen. Absolutely incredible. Great people to talk to, and everyone I spoke to was just really nice. It's nice to see that
People are
we
building.
still have upstanding people out there crushing it and so on and so forth. And of course, oh dude, how could I forget? Nigel Roberts was also one person I met. Absolutely powerful work she is doing. Okay. And of course, if you like this hoodie here, man, it's done by what's her name? Miss Linda. Okay, of Amazingly Africa. Look at that hoodie, man.
Nice.
The moment I put it on, man, I
It
felt
comes
like a king.
screaming at you too from a distance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump into this activity here today, sir. So what we're going to be talking about today is value, price, and money.
Mm.
What is value? What is price? And of course, I'll just skip the money part there. Money is what is representing, is a representative
Of the rest
aspect
of them.
of these two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does
Because,
does it even make sense anymore?
well, that's questions that everyone has to answer for themselves, for sure. Right. Now, when we talk about price, if
Yes,
we're
sir.
going to just look at, I guess, a generic definition,
Like we just look at the price of Bitcoin.
right? Exactly. This is a number that is supposed to represent that value, right? And that value is what the market generally decides is going to be.
Yep.
Unless if you're in the fiat system. So price is going to refer to the amount of money
Mm-hmm.
that is required to purchase something,
Mm-hmm.
or as economists would say it, is the point at which supply and demand meet. Okay.
But
Yeah.
not if you're derivative.
Exactly.
I
But
really think derivatives are a fraud.
it is. It is. And we're going to go into this, right? And when we talk about price, that price can be influenced by the market's perception of value,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whatever people. So if I think this pencil is worth
$10.
10 what?
$10.
Oh, I thought you said 10 bitcoins. Yeah. So if I think this pencil is worth $10, right? And you think it's, you have $10 in your pocket, you know what? Right now, this pencil will give me about $10 of value. We'll probably exchange this.
Yep.
This is what happened with, with gold
Mm-hmm.
as well, right? We saw this thing that is valuable. People decided this is the value of it.
Yep.
And then they start going after it.
Yep.
Now, like we said, there is this point where demand and supply meet.
Mm-hmm.
So this means that there has to be some sort of scarcity happening, right?
Mm.
In order for the value of that thing
To go up.
to be moving up.
Yep.
We see it in the Bitcoin operation itself, the Bitcoin code itself, right? When you have the halving and
Yep.
things like that, right? With 21 million coins only,
Reduce the supply
it reduces that supply.
while demand is still high.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but historically, and in everything that I've understood, the things that are valued are the things that are not easy to obtain, right? I was listening to a podcast with Robert Bitloff, and there was one of the gentlemen on there broke it down really nicely. I can actually remember his actual words, but I'll try to break down as the best I can. For the longest of time, I mean, from the beginning of time, people have always aimed to get what is the most rare asset, because this is something that would hold value. Whether you're talking about gold coins, seashells, etc., etc., these are the things that I guess represent that market activity, right? People find one or the other side valuable,
We can even use the old tulip example.
right?
People thought tulip was rare,
Exactly.
right? So they all put a bunch of money into it.
Kind of like go, which people are doing forever. Okay, so that is what price then is, just this number that is representing the whatever asset that you're trying to purchase, or
Yep.
anything that you're trying to access. But then the value of it, it seems like that's more on the consumer side, right? If you find something to be of value, then you would spend, or you're willing to sacrifice something to get that
Yeah, so
value.
the value is a perception of the buyer.
Yeah.
Value could be also be the market manipulation of what you at what price or what point you can get it.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you're able to buy $1 million house for $700,000 might be what the market perception of the value is at that time.
Mm.
Simple as that.
So in other words, then we could maybe add on then that if we were to use three words to describe value,
Mm-hmm.
we'll say it has to be something that is worth something for someone, right? So
Mm-hmm.
some sort of
For
sacrifice,
that exchange, yep.
right? It has to have utility. This thing is supposed to help you accomplish something, whether it's holding your value, transporting that value. It is important to you.
Or it's also could be something that you want to store your value in. Like you
Yes,
want to just store a bunch of money, a lot of work created in it. Like people
absolutely,
buy art,
for
right?
sure.
So they put that money inside that art to store that value.
Okay, so I'd like to shift gears then, because this is where we go into the phase where we do not understand why society has
It's not making sense
yeah,
anymore.
has forgotten his way. Has forgotten his way. We say that.
Blame it on the Federal Reserve.
If we're chasing something that is value, and we understand that value, right? We already have that supply and demand side of things there, right?
Yep.
Which tells us that the more something is demanded, the more value is going to
Yeah, generate.
be placed on it, right?
Yep.
Especially if that item is rare and cannot be replicated, the price of it will always go up.
No, like NFTs. At least the current state
Yeah,
of
I mean,
NFTs.
like gold, for example. People say,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, gold is rare." But I don't know how many rappers have come up in life. But if gold was rare, I think the rappers would have bought all of it, possibly,
Well,
or the guys in the Middle East, actually.
if you know
You
anybody
know,
from India
yeah,
or Ghana or so parts of Africa, they'll probably tell you, man, we can just go down the stream and just,
yes.
you
So I
know,
will not say that is rare. Even worse, we are in a place where it seems that society is chasing after value that is abundant.
there is no scars
Yes, there's no scarcity.
because they can print it out of tin here. Is that one a good example?
That's exactly what I'm talking about then.
Okay.
So if we understand then that this currency that we use is supposed to represent our value,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we also understand, because I don't think we can really explain anything to anyone that they've probably not heard by now or not
Especially if you're on this
experiencing
show. Yeah.
it, right? And we also know that the value of this currency you use is moving steadily downward.
Because there's just more of it.
Yeah,
You print more of it,
more
that
being
actually
printed.
reduces the value.
Exactly.
So no matter how hard you work and you put your money into this system or this program that we're in, the value keeps going down because there's just more and more and more of it. You guys get it?
And so as they print this more money, is essentially taking away from your value. We all understand this as a society right now.
Nobody's talking, speaking out loud enough though.
It's a scam. That's what we just described.
Yep.
And so it is really, uh, something that I wonder, what will it take? And we're open to suggestions on this. What will it take to simplify things to a point where the average person can understand? Because I know most of the people here in the chat totally get the basics. You know what I mean? At the very minimum, we talk about these things all the time. But I think the difficulty becomes with crossing over, and this is something that I also realized when I went to the Black Blockchain conference. Right? I think that the level of education that has to happen maybe needs to be retargeted. Maybe needs to be approached differently.
Literally start at the elementary level. Like we need to start teaching our kids in
Yeah.
middle school financial education the proper way, not the fiat way. Even because like right now they're not even teaching them anything. But by the time we start teaching them, we cannot even take them further back. We need to get them on the real standard of what money really should be.
Absolutely.
And I think but part of the biggest problem is just the education in general. Like everybody have been brought up to be sheeps and just say, oh, the federal government are arguing about money and balancing money, and it's the same cycle over and over and over again. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. And so this is the part that is a bit concerning to me. We have news where we have professionals, analysts, and all these guys who come on TV and spend hours and hours describing all these complicated uh, investing
Economics terminology,
strategies and
yeah.
so on and so forth. Meanwhile, we have one group of people who do no work and can just flip
Push
a
a button.
switch
Yep.
and change the direction of everything. It's the most basic form of extortion. I mean, we've seen this happening in Africa for ages and ages.
Hmm.
But let's look at the comments before we proceed on here.
I'll say
Go ahead.
something though.
Yeah.
While we're about to look at the comment, many videos ago we were talking about how the Africans and the South Americans are already feeling this,
Mhm.
feeling the pinch, but Americans are not feeling the pinch yet. In our last video, we'll start talking about now people are on TikTok in Canada and America now starting to feel the pinch.
Yeah, I do definitely feel the pitch. Another group of people that probably feel the pitch. Have you seen the car notes people are paying these days?
Oh, $1,700 for
Yeah, I'd like to do a video on that one. Let's look at these comments before we move on. We have Chloe Dior in the house. Okay.
oh
She
yeah, I told
says,
you I like that name.
yeah, that's a smooth name. He says, Grand Rising, gentlemen. Greetings from Florida. What's up, Jake?
Jake
In the
Fever,
Hiza. Listen, man, this guy's out there, probably by the beach,
you know,
sipping
Blue
in
Oceans,
yeah, one of those drinks without umbrella.
margarita,
What is it called?
margaritas,
Margarita.
yeah,
Oh, it is. Okay.
margarita for breakfast.
Oh,
Bitcoin Shango,
man.
longest time,
Absolutely.
all the way
interesting.
from Niger.
Exactly. Listen, man. Value only increases with scarcity. Ooh, you nail it on the head there, sir.
You will like this topic though. You can link that to the other video we did about single women. And honestly, man,
Yeah.
good, like really wonderful women are very scarce these days.
Okay. So I don't want to.
But
put
really
that
wonderful
on.
women with Bitcoin.
That is a rarity. Okay, I
That's what
see
I'm
where you're
saying.
going. I see where you're going. I see where. Listen, I thought you were gonna go a different direction with that one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, to find a woman with Bitcoin, that is.
I'm sure Chloe has Bitcoin.
I'm sure they all do. I'm sure they all do. Listen, I'll add to this. This value only increases with scarcity. This is the part that I believe society has forgotten. Value can only increase with scarcity. Your money can only hold its value if it's backed by something that is not infinite, right?
Mm.
Um.
Tell the Ethereum folks that.
Oh, well.
By the way, one of those DeFi just got hacked again this weekend for about $500 million.
Yeah, I saw something around
That
that.
was painful.
But did you guys see that? By the way, there's this. There's a. I believe I have a.
It's a gaming DeFi app or something like that.
Well, I was about to say is like I have this article which has like all these hacks that have happened. I think it's since the beginning of whenever. But
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunate stuff there for sure, right? But I agree, value only increases with scarcity.
Scarcity.
Okay, and of course, Chloe agrees with you there. Double O, teach the children,
Hey.
100%.
Telling you.
Okay, it is the future generation.
You know, we also did a
Yeah.
video about that a while back. That if you're born into it, you just accept it
Mhm.
as the terminology. But the fact is that it has not always been like that. We've not always been taxed like this. We've not always lost our value like this. But since the creation of the Federal Reserve and let's tax the rich 5%. Now we're currently at 38%, 43% taxing people.
Absolutely.
Never stops, man.
Listen, it is said that we pay these taxes so that we can get some services, but I think that at this point in time, most people can understand that we're not getting those services from
Sure.
the governing
We're
bodies.
busy servicing Ukraine to kill each other.
Exactly. So I think this only further leads me to believe that over time, no matter how long this takes, right? Because for people like us, we're committed to this thing, man. Until a certain amount of people understand Bitcoin, I'm in it for the long run, man.
You
I am
see
ready
us.
to just keep repeating this until everybody gets it through their head.
9 o'clock.
Okay.
Every
Because-
Monday.
Exactly. And I think this is why this is important because over time, we've spoken about on multiple videos before, what money is has changed multiple times.
Mhm.
Mm? But at some point in time, it seems like what money was got taken away by really got stolen away by
Sucked away.
central banks and Federal Reserve and whoever else is involved,
BK
right?
Crypto said private companies.
Printed by private
On
companies.
point.
Exactly. Exactly. That is extremely problematic. Now, we already know that we cannot, no one is here advocating for a revolution. I don't know if you saw the lady who asked the question last weekend when Nigel Roberts
Of-
was speaking, bro.
Like literally, we were in the Senate, like in the building,
Yeah,
and this woman comes against the federal government in their own building. Like what?
listen,
Everybody
bro.
was like, "Oh, girl, you better keep quiet."
There is a certain sort of discomfort that not everybody feels.
No,
But
the
I
guy
think,
from
I think,
the
I
guy from
think,
Galaxy Capital was like, "Girl, I want to keep my job."
I know. I saw the discomfort in the room. It was interesting. But anyway, this is what I'm saying. I think that this is extremely important because um, we can. This is a solution where we can opt out without violence,
Mhm.
without fighting anyone.
That blowing shit up.
Yes, I think that society can just choose to start transacting in this alternate, this superior currency, really, if you will. And there is nothing that companies can do about it because I think if you look at it at a fundamental level, if they want to survive, they
Mhm.
have to go where the market is.
Which they already doing.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just a matter of people in general accepting the fact that they have to let go of some conveniences. Change is not comfortable, it's not convenient, it's
Never
not
was.
something that anyone will enjoy, right? But I think as a society it's time for us to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable for
Mm.
the sake of our value.
Tell them that.
Okay,
Sake of you being able to store your value.
exactly, for the sake of our value,
Hmm.
let's get ready to be uncomfortable. Any final thoughts, sir, or anything else you want to add, sir,
Well,
before we carry on here?
I'll say one thing though. Your value should come from work. All right? There should be a cost for that value to exist.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
like, I'm not just up here, talking to y'all. As some cost that I've had to put in to be able to do this. That's the value that is being created from this, stuff that we're doing.
Absolutely.
There's got to be a demand and supply issue. That's just nature. You just don't have fishes in the sea. There's got to be a shark and a whale, and one eats the other.
Hmm.
And there's got to be that kind of situation going on. Money should not just appear. And I think what they've done a really good job at doing in the past is make people think that currency is money. Two different things. Currency represents
Mm,
money, but everybody's spending currency thinking it's money. I think
absolutely.
that's part of the deception tactics that have happened in 1971 with the old Nixon situation.
Absolutely.
So currency and money are two different things. Money should be work. That's where the value comes from. It's simple as that. If your money is just getting printed and you accepting it and they're giving you, oh, inflation rate is that and all that gibberish that they're giving you on CNBC, forget it, man. That's just the old psychops going on.
Absolutely.
It's time to start adapting to actually what money is, and that's what Bitcoin was here for. Not other crypto stuff. I mean, there are some blockchains out there doing some good stuff,
Mm,
but just focus on the money stuff. Let's fix the money. We'll fix the world. It's as simple as
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. I was talking to someone the other day. I was trying to orange pill them, and I told them that Moses did not come down from the skies and said this is the dollar. He must only use the dollar.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's something to consider because things can be priced in anything else, right? Like we were saying earlier at the beginning. If you think this pencil is worth $10, you give me $10 for it.
Hmm.
At the same time, if you think it's worth, I don't know, zero point 0.1 Bitcoin,
Hmm. That's a lot of money.
I accept the zero point 0.1 Bitcoin and we've made an exchange.
Yep.
I find value in the Bitcoin, you find value in the pencil.
Yep.
That is what an exchange is.
Yep.
It does not need to be anything complicated.
Oh, with the old derivative situation. Oh, I can tell you that pencil is gonna be what 10,000
Yeah,
Bitcoin in the future, so I will pay 10 cents for it now. What
yeah,
the hell?
exactly. So these
It's all
kinds
the
of
banks,
things,
man.
yeah. And listen, I know that there's people who are financial experts who will give you excuses and excuses for days, but I think that these people have not fully thought out Bitcoin. I think that they have not fully understood because and the reason we go into a lot of spaces where there is traditional finance people,
Mm,
extremely smart people, but when it starts coming over to Bitcoin, their actions not really scream that they understand what is happening with Bitcoin.
they haven't even spent the time to learn. They just the ego. The
Okay,
ego is just there.
well, I have nothing else to add, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to continue this chat again at another time.
Next week, Monday.
Definitely. We'll definitely consider next week Monday. Or if you have other ideas you would like for us to, anything you would like us to talk about as well, please hit us up on X. We are on there as Stack. All right.
Where the silent revolution is taking place.
Yeah, where the salad revelation is. Yeah, or not the one on the street. Before we head out, absolutely incredible. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. It means a lot to us. Follow us on X at StackFin, and of course, we're also on Spotify. They must actually. Oh, the Bitcoin note is up. I got this.
Finally, right? We got it back up.
Yeah, well, I got the Noster. I got a. Actually, there's two notes now.
Yep.
I got Noster running. Well, I guess a Noster wallet connected on there, so I just need to switch it over now to the. Yeah, incredible stuff, man. We'll keep going. Take care, everyone. Like Bitcoin Shango says. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Praise and out.
Champions. Peace.